Hey, this is Raj coming to you from Level 1 Takes YouTube channel. And I'm just here to give my prediction and prognosis on tonight's outcome between the Commanders and the Packers. And I'm not necessarily going to predict the final score. However, I'm just going to pretty much predict the margins of victory by either team, the predict possible winner of either team. So with that being said, both of these teams are pretty much, at least last week, they played similarly when it came to defense. Both teams dominated their opposing offenses. So the Giants, they won. They lost to the Commanders 21-6. And the Packers won. They beat the Lions 27-13. And of course, the Commanders didn't give up a touchdown. They only gave up 2 field goals. And by the way, the Commanders are favored by the Packers. I'm sorry, the Packers are favored by 3.5. Although I think I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders, if the Packers do win, they don't win by even that much, or possibly even lose the game. And I'll tell you why. That's because for one, even though the Packers dominated last week, they dominated the Lions' offense. Michael Parsons had a sack. They had a total of 4 sacks defensively, although Michael Parsons is questionable for tonight's game. But I don't know if he's going to be out. That's just a question, but that could mean he may play, he may not, or just the way they listed it. But other than that, the Commanders' offense is nothing to sneeze at. And when I think of Commanders' offense, I think of that playoff game last year when they rode over the Lions. Jaden Daniels was pretty much unstoppable, and he had a bunch of weapons, and he has a bunch of weapons now. And last week, the Commanders had a total of 432 yards offensively, and Jaden Daniels had 212 yards in the air, which is not a whole lot when it comes to great quarterback in terms of yardage. However, he was 19-31. He completed 63% of his passes, and he had, like I said, 233 total yards. He did get sacked 3 times, and he had a quarterback rating of 98, which doesn't sound like a great score. However, he played a solid game. He completed passes to 7 different receivers, including Deebo Samuels. He completed 10 passes to him for 77 yards, and they had a pretty solid running game. They had a guy by the name of Ja'Cory McCoskey-Merritt, which is 2 last names, double last name. Never heard of him. However, he had 82 yards on 10 carries. So that's over 8 yards a carry. So, and they still have Austin Eckler. So that offense is nothing to sneeze at, because they also still have Terry McLaurin you have to worry about. They have Noah Brown and Chris Moore, and their tight end Zach Ertz. So that's a pretty solidified offense when it comes to having weapons to work with. Okay, and then Daniels is he probably was easily the if not the best quarterback last year. He was right there. So, but they're playing the Packers defense, like I said, which they had 4 sacks, and they held the Lions down last week. Goff did pretty good. He threw for 80% completion rate on his pass. He was 31-39 for over 200 yards, and he threw a touchdown. He did pretty good. Had a pick, but the Packers defense held the Lions running game to only a total of 46 rushing yards, and that was David Montgomery had the most of those. Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't even a factor in that game. Now on the other side of the ledger, when you look at the Packers offense, they scored 27 points last week against a good Lions team. Now, they had a total of 266 yards in offense. With Jordan Love, he was 16 of 22. He completed 72% of his passes, and he had 188 total yards in doing that. And they had 78 yards in the running game. And then, by the way, Jordan Love threw 2 touchdowns last week with no interceptions. And he has a ton of weapons as well. He has Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. By the way, he completed passes to 10 different receivers. And they still had a rookie, Matthew Golden, a pretty good rookie, and Xavier Williams, another rookie. So he's got weapons all over the field. That's not counting his tight end, Tucker Kraft, who he threw a touchdown to as well last week. And he threw one to Jaden Reed. So Jordan Love is a weapon in himself. And they still have Josh Jacobs. He ran for 66 yards on 19 carries and had a touchdown. And so he can easily go for 100 on any night. And their defense is pretty good too. They have a solid secondary. They got corners, Marshawn Lattimore and a cornerback by the name of what's his name? Oh, the rookie. They got Trey Amos, and so that should be an interesting matchup with their against the Commanders' receivers, and the Commanders have Dorrance Armstrong, who had a sack last week against the Giants and Russell Wilson, and they still have Von Miller and a couple other good names on that defense. And they held the Giants to only 74 yards rushing, and they held Russell Wilson last week to only 168 yards passing on 17 of 37, and he completed less than 50% of his passes. So, by the way, the Commanders had 2 sacks on the Giants too. So that defense is nothing to sneeze at as well. So they held the Giants to total of 231 yards total. That's involved. That's with the passing and offense. I mean, passing and the running game. So that's a pretty good good outing for the Commanders defense. So in the summary of how I would say I'm looking at this outcome, I'm going to give the points to the Commanders. I know the Packers are favored by 3.5, but if I were a betting man, I would give the Commanders the points. As a matter of fact, I would give them 4. So I'm expecting the Packers to win the game, but I could easily see it being within a field goal. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders did win this game. So with that being said, good luck to if you're a Packers fan. Good luck if you're a Commanders fan. Either way it goes, hey, I hope everybody enjoyed the game, and I hope it turns out to be a good game as is pretty much expected. So, till next time, peace.